I would bring you beauty if I only knew how. I would slip into spirit, dissolve in the early autumn breeze, which carries the scent of sweet pineapple sage, from flaming red flower to bee and lemon yellow butterfly, in the warm afternoon light of their busy lives. Against the persistent whine and warning beep of distant construction machines, the lilting insistence of mockingbird joy and happy girl-child wonder, shared most eagerly with mother, preoccupied, responsible, it seems, for what comes next in their busy lives. Emptied, I drift on an unfelt breeze through a lighter realm where time opens and beauty infuses all beings. I would bring you a portion, but reaching, it slips through re-embodied hands and recedes like time itself, its shimmering afterglow decorating clouds of evening gnats. Thank you. That was To Bring You Beauty. I wanted to add my welcome to the Mary Frances Ayres Theater in the Woods. I met Bob Ayres last Sunday. A remarkable man. I wish I had his spunk and energy right now, and he's 97. You have the program. This is a walk through the seasons, poems of nature and spirit. So we'll start with October, where we are now, and move around through the seasons. Old Field Encounters. It was just an old field. I've been back more than once, perplexed at how very ordinary in the light of mid-afternoon or morning, or the light not light of gloaming, it's gone. Whatever was is not now. It seems a shame the untamed rush replaced by a shrug and stolen glance at time. The short ride home for reheated leftovers to sustain my aging. It was fall when I went wandering, blazed paths through pungent hush of hickory, beech, and white oak stands, to forest edge at right-of-way where I stood blinking back the light, by the sun-splashed shores of an old field grown wild, breaking over asphalt slabs which once went somewhere, beyond the post-hole fence which vainly holds back green, swells of sumac and thistle sparkling in the turbulence, in the silent roar of a thin place opening onto an emerald sea, in the presence of which I would remove my shoes, wash my soul in sunlight, and float the timeless warmth to a new heaven and a new earth. But that was all and over soon. Just slant of light and insect drone. No still small voice that could be heard above the buzz and background trill. So was it somehow up to me to say aloud what hangs in air? All flesh is grass, its beauty as the flower of the field that dies with fall, been said by better than one who wanted just right then, no more than now in this sweet earth, of distant laughter, lovers strolling, the stoic mother gently holding sleek cell phone and squirming child. Right there beneath the freshening breeze, the soft rebuke was meant for me. You hear your heart, not that of mine. I felt it best to follow back the well-worn path that's cut around. I did not hear then a voice. There was no other voice but mine, just jumbled words set in my mind, like taking sun and sending roots, softening ground and healing scars. Flowers dying, wheat fields thriving. Who can say where words come from? But now I'd really like to know, did Moses ever think to go back to bush to watch for fire and hear the holy words again? He did not deign to verify, went down to Egypt, back to reeds, to sea, to Sinai, but for me. What I know too well, like what the ways of science tell. So some fall soon, I will return. I'll go back armed with leather-bound field guide to flora, open mind to watch weeds. Perhaps I'll learn their proper names. The way cool starry night fuzzy top vine must be known to a branch of botany. Perhaps I'll catch the roar and this time listen to the silence inside. Thank you. That was Oldfield Encounters a couple years before I joined the Ramblers, so I didn't know the autumn clematis, if I'm saying that right. Winter. The short side. When dark moonlights, November nights, were on the short side of the sun. For these are the days of dusk, when the pale sun beats west through half-hearted arcs to warm a far-off southern sea. And Orion rises, red-shouldered, east into evening to hunt the blackened midnight sky. When cold moon nights, the longest night, we're on the short side of the sun. For this is the season of silhouettes, when dark forms cast shadows on a velvet void, to illumine by absence the vast empty realm, where love lies below layers, faith stands by frozen, and hope taunts the dormant heart. When ice moon lights the coldest night, we're on the short side of the sun. For this is the stage of unknowing, beyond a simple sunlit faith. Past the last beacon, we enter the empty abyss where souls sweep through perihelion, slung by grace, unglimpsed. We face away perplexed and wait. As new moon ushers endless night, we're on the short side of the sun. January, winter clarity. Like to rush winter along. Bright cold blows thin, piercing the surface with sterile clarity and slanting shadows and light. Through blue intensity, the late day sun sustains emptiness in a land gone stark. Greenbrier and grapevine bind pale stands of privet, encumbering the lowland and frozen abundance. Hoarding my warmth, I shrink within layers, enfolding in safety the wilderness within. Pulling privet, I free a small green fern, huddled in humus below bottomland litter. Beneath brittle forms, behind the dry tangle, abundance bides in midwinter's embrace. February. A cold rain comes before the spring. When low clouds gather, gray on gray, enfolding days in dim light, then spring is just a doctrine, and summer a strange theory of celestial alignment, stillborn in the winter mind, and cold rain comes before the spring. All through my life, a languid day stretched forever, passed away, as each endeavor brought demise and fresh beginnings found their end. My summer grace encountered fall and foundered on the winter mind when cold rain comes instead of spring. With God and wisdom filed and stored, our angel natures now ignored, then what can bring a frozen soul from tight-argued passion to kind-hearted action, breaking through the winter mind? A cold rain comes to usher spring. But when the low gray gathers hold, enfolding lives in dim light, we turn our faces hard to night, engage the bitter winter mind, and cold rain comes before the spring. That was A Cold Rain Comes. But spring comes. Late March, a springtime apparition. By the barely greening side yard pecan, crepe myrtle and magnolia grace the southern small town spring. Paradise is a pool of cool air infused with essence of mown grass and the scent of sweet Carolina jessamine, where a mockingbird freight train duet weaves the Sunday morning sermon as an old dog ambles to the edge of his chain-link fence. Sensing stranger, he barks without conviction. From the unseen center, church bells carry hymns of hope to whoever wanders, a fresh apparition of Eden. In the interest of time, I'll skip the April one. May, to remember a moment. Present moments pass away, unwatched, ignored, they quickly fade. The very worlds we note are gone. Those river shoals of southern May on early days refreshed with breeze and bathed in nature's symphony. By the shady bank, my dogs scratch cool dirt and savor the dark scent, while I watch the waters rushing by the rock-strewn reach to sculpted pools, where dappled sunlight filters through the hidden depths that harbor lives beneath the streamside canopy. This slice of May, so real one time, is now confined within my mind, encoded in the bioweb of birds and dogs, of moss and trees. Our souls are bound by living thread. When time fades and worlds turn translucent gray, shuttered eyes will show the way to where the shoals give comfort with a whispered word and hint of murmurs from beyond, half heard within the rocks and pools. Remembered moments are gossamer fossils that sing our souls to life. And then we come to summer. My three summer poems, all three I'm giving today, are taken from specific rambles. So you might, some of you I'm sure will remember the specific ramble and what you observed at the same time, which reminds me to express my appreciation to Dale, to Hugh, and to Don for in their own ways, in their own styles, leading these rambles. It's a real gift. And this whole garden is a real gift, which I appreciate. The eternal news of early June. Just let the news feeds troll for hits. Let outrage engines hiss and spit. When twisted spin assaults my soul, show me a hummingbird home, wound in silk and saliva, layered with leaves and lichen, hiding in plain view, high in a white oak, surrounded by the scent of green. Weave for me the life of toads, hop hunting the musty, leaf-litter damp, under the air dance of damselflies. Help me tell the leopard's trill from the plucked glunk, its green cousin, calling from a froggy shore. Show me chanterelles with gold funnels growing from a green moss floor. Explain the cycle of slime moles and tell me the role of meiosis in the sexual function of mushrooms. Talk me through the cruel heart, the husk of a bug consumed by fungus, corpse clung to an open-air grave. Bring on the innocence of early summer, bounding through a boyhood day to learn once more the way of wonder. And watch me shed my crusty decades like the sloughed skin of an aging snake baking in the noonday sun. Before the twist of eternity, I would idle again at the gates of creation, drift in the peace of a warm summer breeze. July, the arch of midsummer. High summer rises from June, an Elysian arch of unsure origins and indefinite ends. Deep within the green mirage, yesterday reflects tomorrow. Tomorrow bears the day before. A living engine hums between, to feel the rhythm, to enter in the rolling forever. The price is but a light sweat rambling through a ripe morning in search of pearls you cannot possess. To hold the life of a captive cicada tugging in your fingertips and feel the strength of his buzzing hulk as timbrels play tremolo deep in your grip. As in a dream with languid gaze, to trace the green of a graceful katydid, making like a slender leaf, clinging to a tender branch, sleeping off a late-night gig. To enter a frenzy of paper wasps, working a row of tall sorghum, mixing with a living cloud of sweat bees and butterflies, lapping the honeydew ooze of the aphid. To pass through the shade of a lowly pawpaw, serviced in spring by carrion flies, gleaned in the darkness by agile raccoons and ambling opossums, scavengers passing in the night. Abandon yourself to the sleepy haze, soothed in the soft hypnotic thrum of another midsummer. You shall wake to an ever-evolving world and cross the arch to an ancient day about the business of Eden again. September. Weeds have names. Weeds have names we never know. The world is filled with hidden soul. I walk down moist paths in the abundance of summer, through dewdrop and deer tick to hang on new words, happy as a puppy with a play toy. A boy exploring the borders of Eden would sense the names assigned by Adam. Science prefers the precision of Latin. Verbicina alternifolia is an Asteraceae of order Asterales, featuring a flower in the form of capitula, surrounded by involucral bracts. Weeds have names we never know. But wingstem sticks to unschooled minds, and dog fennel channels bliss, the smell of boyhood, forts, and fields. Glory is goldenrod and crownbeard when old fields glow yellow against blue-purple tips of towering ironweed and lavender balls of tall thistle. Peace comes to the cusp of fall on white waves of frostweed and ivory boneset, in pokeweed and patches of rabbit tobacco. By the margins of forests, beautyberry thrive, and grape ferns unfurl their sensitive fronds. The world bursts with hidden soul, but my backyard goes ragged. Elephant foot in exuberance grows ungainly shoots, branching through odd angles to tiny flowers, which lend my lawn a purple hue. Weeds have names we cannot know, expressed in scent and pollen. Bumblebees consume their sweetness. Fritillaries share their bodies. They toil and spin their secret lives. They reproduce. Too soon they die. We barely sense a hidden soul clothed in rude glory, exceeding kingly robe and throne. They make on life a modest claim, but each one bears its own true name, known to God and them alone. Thank you. And always we circle back to October. This is my last poem this morning. And again, I wanted to express my appreciation for being able to be on this beautiful stage in this beautiful setting, the Botanical Garden. What a gift to the community this is. And I wish that more people knew about it and would join us. The ache at the edge of autumn. Heaven drifts in on an autumn day when dry leaves filter long moments and the very air is your lover. When boundaries collapse and being extends until all is kindness, dappled in afternoon light. You inhabit a living songscape and hear the choir of the wood cricket humming an ode to existence itself. A fresh wind renews the sky. The river course restores its waters. A romp of otters slips upstream. The whole of life has brought you here. Time fulfilled in a moment of joy. Consummation always comes. An afternoon forever fades. There's an ache at the edge of an autumn day when time trends toward waning and earth spins ever away. There's an ache an octave above pain, a register beyond joy, built in the core of creation, forged in the fire the long ago making when the great winding down began. There's an ache impressed on the cosmic tapestry in the omnipresent redshift through the ever-present void. I am is its cry, ever fading. There's an urge to return that's etched on us all. But home is a haven gracing the past. Do you feel the ache inside your soul? It burns but does not consume. Heaven is somewhere adjacent to here. Eternity dances the edges of fall. Thank you.